It's me. All right, so I watched All Who Wander. I actually love that All Who Wander are not lost. That quote. So I was totally into it. First, a little bit of housekeeping, I guess they call it, or whatever. We've been friends for 15 years. If you don't stop fucking apologizing for all your ramblings, I'm gonna cut you the next time I see you. Like, just to, you know what I mean? Cut you. I know who you are. Stop apologizing. Second, if you need some therapy, man, go get some therapy. Because therapy's honestly the best money I ever spent in my entire life. Best time, best money. If nothing else, to this day, and I was in therapy probably about 10, 12, 15 years ago. I still use the techniques that I got in therapy. Now, granted, there are moments in time where, like, you know, it doesn't always work. And sometimes I want to go back to therapy, especially because I haven't gone since I've become a parent. But I use a lot of the techniques that I learned in therapy because they're just super helpful for managing your anxiety, managing your fears, that kind of thing. That last episode, The Elysian Kingdom, it was starting to feel, I get you, as far as feeling like messed up with it, because I was getting up to here with like being unable to breathe with how intense the episode was. And I don't want anything to hurt me so much that I'm like, I can't watch this show for now because I need to take a step away because I can't handle it hurting my feelings like that. You're absolutely right that the end of that episode was like a nice little, no. Please still like us. We just wanted to bring you to the brink. We didn't want to hurt your feelings completely. We're just going to bring you to the brink. So I get it. But definitely, like, you need to see how it plays out and all that other good stuff. So, definitely therapy. I recommend it. Having said all of that, I'm going to dig into the episode. Okay, we're going to start again. Notes, and a lot this time. I wrote a lot of notes because I actually watched your video as well, and I wrote little notes under my notes just to like go ahead and comment on things you said. So at the beginning, I like Pike as the dad figure. I like him as a whole, like, let's everybody have some breakfast. And then the Greek in me absolutely loves watching everybody eat. Like, eat, honey, eat. And then watching how they're like, eat this, no, eat this. And then, like, you know, they're like, try the waffle. And then she's in the middle, you know, La'an is in the middle of her whole speech. And she's like, oh my God, this is good. And then, like, watching, like I said, I like watching them eat because it makes them all more human as they do it. I had that one comment a while ago how Picard always does, like, the best acting while he's eating. And, like, it made me watch for this here, too. And I definitely find it's weird. I find it like a little hallmark of good acting. If you can continue to act while you get a mouthful of food. Like, that's pretty good to me. You know what I mean? Like, I find that intense. It just so happens that Picard was amazing. Like, for some reason, he was able to be more intense while he was eating and acting. And that made me love him more. So, you're right with the plane not landing. I had the same question where, you know, like you said, Voyager, they always landed. But that's because they were lost and they were, like, looking. They're like, where can we look now for supplies? Like, maybe if we land here. Landing was just odd in general. Like, the landing party itself seemed kind of huge. Like, let's take everybody important not named Una or Ortegas to the to the place where the Delta Vi 1 or whatever it is, like that. Like, let's take them all there. Like, I already had a sense of foreboding. I was like, you have too many main characters in one place. Someone's gonna hurt me in a little while. And I was right. The Gorn. Like, we only saw the Gorn in Arena, you know what I mean? And then obviously we saw, like you said, Gorn with Archer. But apparently we're making the Gorn a thing here. The same way that we made, what are their stupid names? Who are the robot people? I can't think of their names right now. The way that we did it with Picard. With the Queen, the drones. You know who it is. I can't think of their stupid names right now either. See, my brain's all... But yeah, Gorn. I feel like Gorn's becoming our main bad guys this season, at least. So there's a few little things about the Gorn I want to talk about for a minute. One, I really had some feelings of Jurassic Park. Alien, absolutely Alien. But I definitely had some Jurassic Park feelings. in it, where I was totally like baby velociraptors, like you had said. Totally agree with you. I feel like the show. All right, so if we're thinking about evolution in general, okay, think about us. When I was young, I was all over the place. I was running all the time. I was whatever. I was younger and faster and all that good stuff. And over time, I'm like, I don't need to run. I have a car. I don't need to do these things because I'm strong. So I'm trying to understand like the evolution of Gorn, like because so early on they fight for dominance, they kind of settle into just being big and strong. That's it. Like I don't think that being fast it factors in. I'm just trying to imagine that, you know, as young as they are, they're wild and crazy, and then as they get older, with age comes wisdom and patience and growth and stuff. Again, all of us have gained weight since we've got older too. So I imagine that that's kind of what happens with Gorn. What did I write? Another thing that I thought was interesting is that we kind of reverse anthropomorphize them. So we're seeing grown-ups as like, you know, a dude in a lizard suit. And we're seeing babies as velociraptors. And I go back to the whole, with age comes, now they're not Klingon. Like Klingons, one of the things that's badass as shit about Klingons is that no matter how old they got, we saw the old dudes, like up until the very end, if they're old and decrepit and ancient as shit, still wanting to fight. That's not how this works. Whereas, you know, as the Gorn get older, like I said, I feel like they did it differently, where it's just like, you know, they fight differently as they get older because they've already had to do that alpha dominance thing when they were right out of the egg person, whoever. So yeah, that's just my thought on the whole Gorn thing. I'm willing to let it slide because, again, I think about, you know, we as humans, not even just humans, like any animal being or whatever gets like faster and bigger as they get older. Just happens. So there was a point with Uhura meeting with that Buckley dude. And what I really liked that she did was that, like, I'm a huge lover of languages. Like, I absolutely love all different kinds of languages and the way that they work. I speak, like, 4 languages and you know, some sign language because I just love language so much. What she showed there with language wasn't just that language is important. I actually like the fact that the universal translator never works for Buckley. I like that because it creates a sort of disconnection that you have to work around. Instead, she understood that that language is more than words. It's context. It's body language. It's that kind of thing. So I liked that. That to me was one of those moments that showed me how good Uhura is. That it wasn't just words. It was also context, body language, that she was able to calm this dude down, and then he allowed her to come into the sanctuary. Thought that was great. I'm going to mention Hemmer again. I wrote Hemmer as the wise old man because I love the Hemmer, Hemura. I love that little pairing because he's just a great little wise old man. I agree with you, the my daughter thing, leave my daughter alone or whatever. I am glad that we didn't completely disavow acknowledge, like I'm glad that he did have that little split, and then as soon as he did it, he like, you know what I mean? I like that he was self-aware about it. I like that they didn't smash us in the face with it, but I do like it was like a nice little Freudian slip. So I thought that was interesting. But I'm okay with that because this seems like it just happened or whatever. And even if it didn't, like we don't know how much time passed between the two episodes, but I'm okay with him, you know, having that slip because he's probably missing his daughter. So Buckley, for some reason, I thought that Buckley's gasping, of all the things that were ominous about it, obviously there's the blood stains, there's the whatever. This show's really great about not really beating you over the head with gore, which is nice, but sometimes people like that until they beat you over the head with some gore. But I found it more scary how wide Buckley's eyes got in his gasping, and how his gasping got more and more tedious over time. I found that very ominous, and I was like, ooh, shit, what's gonna happen next? And it wasn't the kind of thing where, like, he starts gasping and all of a sudden things come out of his chest. He's gasping for a while, enough for the little girl to, like, notice what's going on, go into the room, cover her mouth, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing. Thought that was interesting. We knew that Duke wasn't going to be long for this world. Of course, he gets, a promotion, but you can totally see that Duke is like, should he have gotten the promotion, or has he just been there and kissed enough ass or whatever? I don't know. He wasn't around long enough for me to care, but I knew he wasn't going to last for a while, because it is what it is. I find it interesting how Kirk's brother, I really don't remember a lot about Kirk's brother in the past, to be honest with you. I don't remember shit about him, so maybe, like, we do have a history with him or something like that I'm not aware of, but I don't remember anything. So I find that he is someone who's easily frustrated or easily frazzled. And, like, it was interesting how a lot of this episode focused around anger in general. Like, I feel like if we're really digging into, like, the emotional aspect of it, I feel like the more frightened people got, the angrier they got. And that's a legitimate, progression of feelings. Because usually, anger is fear, that has no place to go. It's trying to find an avenue. That's literally, learned that in my therapy, to be honest with you, that the reason why I was so angry all the time is because I was afraid all the time. Fun fact. But it's interesting to watch how angry they got because of how afraid they were. So I found it interesting that, like, instead of us just being like, I'm afraid, everybody just got super angry. No one more so than Spock. So I again, it was a fun little therapy technique when he was like, I released the anger into my heart. And it was like, wow, that is a therapy technique where, like, you acknowledge the feeling and then, find a way to expel it into something. And I thought that was cool too. And I was like, this is definitely like a psychological episode more than anything, I felt like. So I really liked Spock's anger in this because, again, he's Vulcan. He never has anger or anything like that. I agree with you in that the Spock hug back was not like him, which made it most surprising. But I think because, he had a moment where Chapel saw his anger and the fear behind it, that it softened him up because he doesn't know what to do with the fear. He doesn't know what to do with the anger because he's always been blocking his feelings. So of all the things that were surprising in this episode, that was the most surprising thing. So I liked it. To be honest with you, I like that he hugged her back. And it was like, I gasped when I saw him hug her back. And I was like, oh shit, Spock, look at you hugging someone. Like, you never hug people. You know what I mean? Like, that's amazing. I liked it. And it's dumb because it's like a dumb little thing that, like, didn't even realize it. Fucking, why did we kill Hemmer? Like, why? Why did we have to do that? I was very aggravated when we killed Hemmer. Because Hemmer is, no joke, one of my favorite characters on the show. Because, not the blind thing. I mean, like, the blind thing is cool. I mean, like, it's a nice little way to be inclusive and stuff like that. It was more like his sarcasm, his wiseness, like, all those. I just liked him. I liked how smart he was and stuff like that. I did want to, like, thank the show. Thank you for not showing us his death, because that shit would have killed me after, like, 2 weeks. Don't make me cry 2 weeks in a row. Having said that, I am, a television watcher who's like, if we didn't see them die, it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate that we have like, they don't show us if we had a funeral for our body, or if maybe we just had a funeral in general or whatever. I don't know. I'm interested to see if, like, he's gonna come back being King of the Gorn or some shit. That would be cool. I had a moment where, for La'an to have spent so goddamn long with them, I think, like, she was in the room, or at least she knew that, like, they squirted some venom on Hemmer. Did she fucking know that the venom was how they reproduced? Because if she did, bitch could have said something much earlier in the fucking party instead of fucking waiting for them to be stuck alone in the room together after the fight so she can knock over the ice fucking Gorn. Like, come on. Again, more reasons why we don't like her. Though it did happen, I had a feeling something like that was going to happen because we needed a catalyst to make Uhura stay. Because we know she stays, obviously. The ending was a nice little shot where, like, she looks over at the communications area and voila, we know that that's going to be her jam soon. But we know that she needed a catalyst. And I like that, again, you know, Hemmer saw through all of her facade and realized, you know, she does like people. She does want to be part of things. She does love those things. So, you know, don't be afraid to open yourself up to, you know, the world because you want to. You're just afraid. You know what I mean? So, again, like I said, a lot of times we did anger and fear in this episode, and I liked that. And they did it in a way that it wasn't, like, hokey as shit. The funeral itself hurt my feelings a little bit. Ortegas is not, like, that's a beautiful story, like Ortegas told. And, like, it was kind the way that she said it, and it was kind the way that they all acted through it and stuff like that. Like, I thought the funeral itself was super sweet, and we don't see a lot of, I mean, like, when we do, they're super somber with anything, and I liked that they were almost treating it like an Irish wake. Like, I kind of dig that. I kind of want them to have some feelings like that as well. Because Hemmer wouldn't want you all forever. He would want you to, like, okay, let's move on to the next thing. And I liked that. I thought that was, like, very true to what he would have liked. So those are my notes for the episode. I did have one thing that I added on here. I'm going to be so blunt with you. I have spaceship blindness. Like, I wouldn't know there's a difference between spaceships if, one, their name didn't say it, and two, you didn't constantly give me a, like, here's what this ship is, and here's what this ship is. So, when they say that it's got Constitution-class stuff, I'm like, cool. Why do we care about that? Does it have stuff that we need that's relevant to the plot? If not, then I don't care. So yeah, maybe there's a way that I need to understand, but, like, I'm someone who's like, hey, do you have an SUV? What color is it? You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't know, you know, if I had a bunch of cars in front of me, I wouldn't know it's a Honda, a Hyundai, a Toyota, like, all that good stuff. I just have spaceship blindness where I don't understand the difference between them, but I only understand it when you show me, you know, what each of them are and stuff like that, and that's literally the only way that I understand the difference. I know who drives what, but I can't tell you what makes them different across the board. With the exception of Deep Space Nine. What do we call that stupid ship? God damn it. That's the only one that I find different. Because it seems so drastically different from what we're used to with our starships. That's literally the only one. The other ones look virtually identical to me. Yeah. So, I liked it. I thought it was interesting. It definitely had an Aliens vibe to it. It's a change up from the previous one, thank God. Because I can't do another one like that for a little while. I'm about to dig into the season finale. Come on, like, Star Trek, get your shit together. We need more episodes of Star Trek doing something. You can take a week or two off, but get your shit together. So, all right. Let me know what you think. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.